I'm Andy Arnold, aspiring filmmaker and leader. Today we shall sit here and talk about the qualities of one excellent man, Steven Spielberg, one of the greatest directors of all time. Today he has three qualities that he had when he started in the film business that he still has today that makes him such a great and powerful leader. These three qualities are shown in three of his greatest films: Jaws, Schindler's List, and Saving Private Ryan. And these qualities are: 1. The ability to turn something that is bad into something that's a blessing. To me, all leaders should have this ability, that when something goes wrong, they have the ability to lead them out of that one bad situation into greater prosperity. Spielberg has that. 2. The ability to get the most out of your people. A good leader can motivate his people, can work with people, and people want to give the best work for that man. And Steven Spielberg has that gift with his actors and his crewmates. Notably, certain actors love working with Steven Spielberg, as you shall watch in Schindler's List. And 3, the ability to show a message or to make a film when the public isn't ready, but you think the public is ready. Spielberg has that, and he has shown this through many of his films, but the greatest one he's made with that message is War is Brutal in Saving Private Ryan, and he opened up the eyes to the public to war for the first time. Thank you, and let's begin. As I said, the number one quality we shall first talk about is the ability to turn something that's bad into a blessing, like a blessing in disguise. We shall look at one clip from Jaws right now. As you just watched, a little boy gets attacked by the shark. But did you catch something? The shark's never shown. Earlier in the production, when they were testing out the shark, the mechanical shark, the shark broke. So he had no shark to use. Every time the studio wanted a new shark, the studio wouldn't allow it. So he did is, he thought to himself, he said, how can I make this film better? And he said to himself, how about the camera is used as a shark? This genius idea made the film more terrifying because people did not see the shark. Most of the film, you don't see the shark till near the end of the film when he first appears, and it's a complete shock to the public. This quality of doing the blessing in disguise moment created Spielberg's first blockbuster ever. Jaws changed cinema forever and introduced the world to Steven Spielberg. The second one is the ability to motivate people. Spielberg has done this in many of his films, but one stands out in particular: Schindler's List. Here's a clip from it.
Stand for this. I could have become one more person, and I didn't.
As you just watched, Liam Neeson gives a heart-wrenching performance in Schindler's List. That one scene is so good. It's his best scene, in my opinion, he ever has done. You might have other opinions, but we'll talk about that later. Steven Spielberg motivated Liam Neeson and gave Liam Neeson the opportunity to give that performance. His first and only Academy Award nomination in the history of his career. He has done something that many directors can't do, which is motivate actors to give their best work for this one director. Many actors worked with Steven Spielberg, but if I go to all of them today, they all want to work with Steven again. Many of them are friends with Steven Spielberg, like Tom Hanks. But that ability to work with people and motivate people into making great films and making great moments with those actors, giving the actor enough credit too, but giving the director credit too at the same time is astounding, and that's a great leader has that, like Spielberg. The third aspect of a leader, for me, that I learned from Spielberg, is the ability to show people something that they are not ready for, but change their worlds forever. Spielberg does this in this one clip from Saving Private Ryan. You just watched the D-Day invasion of Saving Private Ryan. This is the greatest war scene in the history of cinema, because for the first time ever, people entered war. People who never fought in war, people who never thought about fighting in war, and children who are learning about war, all experience war in one 20-minute scene. That is something that's amazing and a true leader has to do, and Spielberg has that gift. His ability to show any issue and bring it up in film changed Hollywood forever. And many directors wouldn't have that confidence to make a film like that if it wasn't for Spielberg. So let's recap. What 3 leadership qualities I learned from this project, learning about Spielberg? I learned the quality of making something bad into a blessing in disguise. We learned this from the use of jaws and the camera angles. 2, the ability to get the most out of your people. And we used Schindler's List for that. And 3, the example I used of Saving Private Ryan to push a message forward and change the world. Those are the leadership qualities I learned, and I hope you learned from this documentary as well. Thank you. Goodbye.